Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
Woohoo's right. And it's a beautiful hump day, too, man. And after...
Well, you're on mic 6. All right.
He's
sitting
likes
at
to...
mic 5, but he's using mic 6.
Mic 5, mic 6, mic 4, mic 23.
Hut.
Strikeout. No, wrong time of season. So, anyway, how's everybody doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm pretty good.
That's cool.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
Got our Facebook Live going.
All right.
Did some announcements today all over social media.
Oh, wow.
Actually have
Lovely.
some pretty
Cool.
good things going on. So
Cool.
Yeah, so exciting.
Cool beans.
they're
now,
on my phone.
now they get to look at the the countertop.
I know. I'll get better at it. It's a learning.
It's a work in
experience.
progress.
I know it's terrible. Actually, I'm struggling today.
It's like the rest of us guys on the planet. We're all a work in progress,
better.
aren't we?
There you go.
Now I got it. My wife is watching and she's laughing.
Yeah.
She's laughing. Oh
yeah,
no.
She's laughing because
They make tripods for those things.
I know, but I actually have one and I forget. So.
Oh, all right.
But
Imagine
I am
that.
here. I know. Hey, I'm here. I made it. Everybody's safe, and we are 1 week closer to the Masters.
Yeah.
And
one,
after
one
last
week
week,
away, as a matter of fact.
and after last week, now I didn't know. I was texting you throughout.
Yeah, I
Did you
saw
see
that.
I
Yeah, I
wasn't
saw
sure if
some
you
of
were
those,
getting
yeah.
it. If you were like,
yeah, I got those. Yep.
sitting on your yacht, cruising around, drinking pina coladas or something. But
My yacht. You know something I don't know?
no. But
I was going to say, tell me where I left it, because
No.
I haven't been able to find
now
it.
you got to validate because I was close last week to the whole Tiger pick.
Yeah, you
Right?
kind of called about how his week would go.
Yeah.
And then you told me on Saturday night, you're like, man, he's going to need about a 64, 65 on Sunday.
And what did it ended up being? He needed that.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Yeah, he needed that. I mean, nobody expected McIlroy to go off.
Oh, he was just on fire.
I mean, where did that come from? I mean, this is a guy that at the Honda watching the practice round and watching him practice on the putting greens.
it was crooked, right?
He couldn't figure out where the hole was. He needed something the size of a trash can in order to get the ball to fall in. And all of a sudden, he found his mojo. And now I was just watching the match play,
On fire.
and he was 5 down with 5 to play. And now, when I left, he was 2 down with 2 to play. He had birdied 5 holes in a row to stay in the match and then start closing it up. So it's getting real interesting.
You're going to have to move McIlroy up in the odds at the Masters because I think that fits his game really well.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, he's peaking. Like people talk about.
The rhythm
you want
to it.
your game's got a certain rhythm to it, and yeah.
And peaking in golf is 3 tournaments is a lot of peaking. I mean,
Yeah.
it won't last like 5-6 events. It's almost like you get a little bit hot, and then you just kind of got to ride that wave, right?
Yeah.
And then he's in the right spot.
Lenny Watkins was famous for that.
What, like peaking?
He'd come out in 2 or 3 weeks in a row. He'd either win or be in the top 3 or 4,
And then do something big.
and then he'd disappear for 2 months, and then he'd come back again. It was
The scary part is Tiger is the one that could be peaking.
Yeah, because he's gotten progressively better. His game he's gotten more consistent. He's eliminating a lot of the errors the rust that's on your game.
Right.
I mean,
he hit some really good shots. But I wanted to say, those, because I was talking a lot about it, and we've been talking a lot about Tiger. But that ball he hit out of bounds,
yeah,
I sat there, and when he pulled driver, I thought,
you kind of squinched.
I did, and I squinched. Good word, by the way, squinched. Look that up.
I like that.
Is that real? Okay, but he pulled it
We'll
out.
make it one.
And I thought, because his thought was if he hits driver good, he can have a chance for eagle.
Oh yeah,
And you could just see
yep.
his mentality change, and he went after that driver. Like he went after it.
Oh yeah.
And when he
He
did,
tried to get that extra 40 yards or so that.
he wanted the 320, 330 drive,
Yeah.
and he hung back a little. And they showed in slow motion. You can see him just hang back, and then boom. When they hang back and the hips stop moving, that's when the pull comes out, right?
Yep.
And I watched that, and I thought, because I was on the edge of my chair there already, thinking, you know what, good drive, right? But even if he just hit a regular good drive, he didn't really need to have that extra.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know it would probably give him more lofted club in, but man, I would rather Tiger Woods the way he was playing. I mean, give him a wedge on his third shot. It's going to be inside 15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that might have been a mistake. Retrospect. I mean, it's easy to say that.
Yeah.
I always criticize armchair people, quarterbacks, but I just kind of thought, driver was the wrong play there, because you take that swing away, and he does get up and down for birdie. On his approach. We talked last week about how when you play with Tiger, and he was in a good spot, so he's in front of the leaders, right?
Yeah.
They're listening to the roars.
Oh
right?
yeah, you hear him. Yeah.
Shaking
he's
ground.
coming.
Yeah. Does that change what? Because as soon as Tiger hit out of bounds, McIlroy went crazy. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's almost like, okay, Tiger's out.
Yeah.
And he just put the pedal down.
Yeah.
He made everything though. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, he putted lights out.
Yeah.
Lights out. So it's very exciting. I mean, I kind of get fired up about this time of year. It must be.
Oh yeah.
This is when
Yeah.
golf really starts.
We start anticipating, pimento cheese sandwiches and getting all that going.
We have to. We're going to have to do our Masters weekday. We did that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make that again.
That was pretty fun.
good.
Yeah.
Those were good.
So, anyways, I thought it was a very exciting event, and
Yeah.
I was excited that it ended up the way it did, and now we get ready for the Masters.
Yeah.
I don't even. I mean, I know the World Golf things this week, and that's cool, but
The match play, which I love watching match play.
it is. But it's a warm up. It's a warm up,
And-
it's a warm up to the Masters.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it. I'm not going to tune in like I did watching Tiger stalk Bay Hill, to like see that come back. I'm not. I'm probably not, but I shouldn't say that. I probably will. Yeah. But probably not.
What I like about the match play is these guys will try stuff that they normally wouldn't play or do. Shots that they normally wouldn't try because, okay, I don't have to beat the whole field. I got to beat this guy right here next to me. And I got to do something crazy here or I'm not going to beat this guy. So I'm either going to get a 3 or I might get a 6.
Right.
But it's what I got to do.
It's still fun though.
So it's kind of neat to watch, the way some of these guys play. And
Totally different dynamic than
Yeah.
stroke play, and
Yeah.
where there's
Dustin Johnson got beat today. So that shows you how deep the talent field is
oh
out there.
absolutely
That,
anybody can beat anybody
Yeah.
in match play.
yeah, yeah,
That it's a great test, but it's also like we just said, one day and you're done.
Yeah.
And for TV,
Well, now they've changed it. I mean, it used to be one and done. It was a 64-man tournament, one and done. But now they do it like the World Cup soccer does, where you have groups. You have a group of 4.
Okay.
And you play everybody in your group once,
right,
and then the top 2 move on,
right.
and that's how they decide.
So
it.
that keeps it more
So
interesting.
That, so that,
yeah.
that gets your 32 that advance on into the weekend.
Gotcha.
And from there, they pare it down to the last, the last 2.
And then they have at it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll probably have to pay attention because probably won't have enough to talk about. But next week we'll be talking about the Masters.
That's right.
So I think we'll.
The azaleas are in bloom.
Oh, it has to. And it's such a cool place. So.
Oh, it is.
I know.
And I mean, it's like walking into Kismet. I mean, it's like
Where are we walking?
it's like walking into Kismet. It's just
What's that?
it's. Come on, Frank, help me out here. It's from.
All right.
What
All right,
is-
Kismet?
Kismet.
Kismet
Kismet.
Kismet.
means like something that is meant to be.
Oh,
It's just I mean,
it's a word.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was a store
yeah.
like you take
No.
me to an amusement park.
No, Kismet.
Oh,
No.
that's good. It's like
Yeah.
a place. It's like
It's-
Narnia.
Yeah, it's like
Like a
it's
special
like
place.
Narnia. It's some place
Magical
just,
place.
It doesn't.
Mystical,
yeah, it's
magical.
mystical, magical.
Yes.
It doesn't go with what's around it. I mean, if you've ever been to Augusta and you've driven down Washington Street or whatever it is there that's in front of Augusta National,
Right.
I mean, there's a Crystals, there's 6 Walgreens, 3 CVS.
Yeah, it looks like any other road in America.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck have I stepped
And then,
into?
and then you turn down.
and then you turn down Magnolia Lane, and it's
Holy
it's
cow.
like you go through this little barrier,
That's true.
and the
It-
rest
it-
of the world is gone.
It is like that, So
Yep. So we got that to look forward to, and like you said, Rory. I just checked. He did lose his first match play event 2-1.
who did he lose? I didn't even see the pairings. You remember?
Playing? Yeah.
I had to ask you. I
But
know.
anyway, that's all right. I'll find
Always
it.
do that.
But I mean, he birdied 5 holes in a row to get back into that match. He lost 2-1.
Gotcha.
And this is a guy that birdied 8 of the last 13 holes at Bay Hill, including 5 of the last 6.
Amazing. That was.
So
you're going to win.
He's got He's hitting it close, and he's rolling the rock real well.
He looked really comfortable at Bay Hill. It doesn't look that much different. He just looked comfortable, and he had control of the ball, and the momentum was there. And again, when you're making that, what putt was it? He made was it 17? He made it. And there was one putt that he made, and it's like, come on, really?
Oh yeah, it was from like left field somewhere.
Yeah, and when that starts happening, it's like it's over. And then he hit a great shot on 18. I mean, he just hit every shot solid. It was great closing round.
Now I know why I couldn't remember who was Peter Uihlein.
Really?
Yeah.
That's something you don't hear often.
that's not a name.
Peter Uihlein built back.
Peter Uihlein took down probably the hottest guy in the last week.
That's crazy.
Yep. That is crazy.
Well, I guess like you say, golf is like that. One day is a different. Every day can be a different winner.
Yep.
So that's how the game goes. So.
Oh yeah. And Phil right now is dormy. Phil's 3 down with 3 to play to Charles Howell.
Phil is dormy.
Yep. Phil's dormy right
now. He's down. Masters warm up. That's what this is. Great. Oh, yeah. Get some swings in. Change your mentality.
Yeah.
And actually, match play is a great warm up for a Masters because, like you said, it's a little bit more risk reward, right? So you can be more aggressive.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake aggressively, it doesn't cost you the whole tournament. In the Masters, you can't make double or triple and expect to really make that up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, doubles you can, but triples and stuff like wild shots.
Yeah.
But
like Jordan Spieth on 12 2 years ago.
Right. You can't do that.
You can't make a 7 or an 8
or whatever. Maybe was it an 8? I thought it was even more. But
it may have been.
But the point is, in match play, you can kind of test out some lines. You can test out some angles or shots that you maybe wouldn't hit. But when's the last time you took those lines in a real tournament? Because like just cutting corners or just taking lines you maybe wouldn't take. But it's good in match play to get because if you pull it off,
get a little confidence going and
right.
Yeah.
And I think it fits a nice spot. I think it's a good tournament for a lot of guys before the Masters and should be interesting to see. So, but that was pretty cool. Yeah, I thought that was really exciting last week.
Oh yeah.
Anytime Tiger's on TV, everybody's
everybody's buzzing.
Oh, everybody's buzzing. I mean, every place you look and every quote and every the whole world's that's all they want to talk about. Which again, Tiger sells. So.
Hey. And who finished second?
Couldn't even tell you.
Really? You couldn't tell who finished second last week?
I forgot. I was so Tiger enamored.
It was your boy DeChambeau.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Come on, I knew
man.
that.
How could you not know that?
I know. He played well.
He played very well.
Yeah, he hit some quality shots.
Yeah, he was very consistent. Didn't really throw anything away. But yeah.
But that's almost like an event where somebody like DeChambeau, he didn't really lose the tournament. McIlroy won it.
Yeah, McIlroy just.
And that doesn't happen a lot. Where five under in the last 6 holes. I mean, you're gonna win.
Yeah,
you're gonna win. So that's pretty impressive. What do you shoot? 64, right? 64 or 65.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we talked before we came on air. That's what Tiger had to pull off.
Yeah.
If he was in 3 or 4 shots.
Yep. And around 64.
And Tiger shot 69, right?
Yes.
So if he would have shot 64, so he would have
5 more strokes. Yeah, it'd been
he still wouldn't have got there.
Yeah, still wouldn't have caught him because McIlroy was just
on fire. Yeah.
He was gone.
It was still a pretty strong event though.
But hey, it's you're talking. Tiger's got 2 top 5s in a row now.
Yeah.
A second. Where he had a chance to tie for the lead in the last.
Yeah.
And then this event where, he made some noise and made everybody
aware
that he's there.
That swing he hit out of bounds was, and we all been there. We all been in contention and whacked something out of bounds. And you see his face, you could just see it. He put his head down, his eyes like, should have hit 3-wood.
Yep. Probably swore at himself.
No, Tiger?
Dang it, Tiger.
Does Tiger swear? No, Tiger never swears. He always says, gosh darn it. Oh, that was unfortunate.
Yeah. He's from Mayberry.
I don't think so. NEM.
On the ladies' tour,
we got to talk about the ladies.
They played out in Phoenix, NB Park. Won the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. This is her 19th title.
Yeah, but she hasn't won in a long time. It's been what?
Yeah.
A couple years?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on fire there. I thought she sort of retired. She won so much.
Yeah.
But that's good.
But
maybe good, but not good for everybody.
I mean, as good as she played, most people, like we said, we're talking about Tiger.
Right.
Even though we didn't win. A lot of people were talking about Lori Davies.
Lori Davies was in contention.
Lori Davies, 54 years old, in the World Golf Hall of Fame. The English lady shot a 3rd round 63.
63.
to give herself a chance. Shot 69, which is a good final round, too.
Sure.
Finished tie for second, 5 shots back of NB Park. I tell you how well Park's playing. You got a Hall of Famer out there that shoots 63, 69, and she's still 5 shots back of you on the.
Well, MB Park can
the
play,
end.
though. Yeah. Now, Laura Davies would be another one of those swings that we talk about that probably would last a very long time because it doesn't. It's one of those long, loose, get to the top, drop it down, move your legs.
Yeah.
I mean, Laura Davies is. I haven't seen her, but she's a big girl.
She's still a big girl, yeah.
Yeah, so she always created a lot of leverage and speed, but that's awesome that she can be in contention.
Now, had she won, she would have become the oldest winner on the LPGA Tour
in history.
Wow! At 54 years old, and she would have. Guess how much older she would have been than the current holder
I'm gonna go
of the oldest to win on the LPGA Tour.
9 years.
You're very close. 8.
8 years.
8.
And who was it? Like it'd have to be like.
I don't know who it was, but by 8 years she would have set the record for the oldest to be the oldest winner on the LPGA Tour.
Isn't that an interesting?
It seems like now once you get to 20 or 25,
you're out. You're
kind of done.
Yeah.
They played. It's like tennis used to be back in the day. All the young girls played tennis so well.
Yeah.
And
then the older ones didn't play.
You only had 1 or 2 of the older ones that played well, and the rest of them were the kids.
I was going to say that is an interesting fact, and I didn't know that till tonight. But that's interesting that the ladies' tour does not have winners in their later years like you do on the men's tour. I mean, if somebody was 43 or 44 that won a tour event, it's not like such big news, but it doesn't sound like that happens very much. It's interesting.
Yeah, not often enough.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting fact. So ladies are doing their thing.
Yeah.
And seniors, I don't think seniors were on last week, right?
No, I don't believe they were.
Yeah, their schedule's kind of getting revamped right now, but
I took a cruise around Florida Club yesterday afternoon.
Oh, you did get to go.
Yeah, I didn't play. I just borrowed a cart and drove around.
That was cool.
First thing I noticed is if you've ever played out there before, some of the holes were a little narrow, a little tight.
They opened it up.
They've opened it up a lot.
Like tree wise or fairway wise.
Tree wise, they got rid of some trees. They got rid of a lot of the scrub and palmetto stuff that was around. A lot of that's gone.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully it stays gone.
So they made it more friendly, more player friendly.
A lot more friendly, yeah.
Yeah. Did it still look really good? Obviously,
it was in real good shape.
Yeah, gotta be.
I talked to about 5 or 6 people that were playing while I was cruising around, and everybody was really, really pleased with the place.
I'm sure they are.
Thought everything looked really, really nice, and they were having a good time. And that was with the wind howling yesterday, like it was.
Oh, you went? Yes, it was really howling. Yeah.
It was blowing pretty hard.
Well,
but the biggest change on the golf course, other than the fact that they've widened it up a little bit, is the 16th hole. 16th hole used to be a short, straightaway par 4. You could almost drive the green if you really wanted to.
Gotcha.
And you got a good bounce or something. But now you're not going to do that anymore now because they've taken the green, and instead of being straight ahead, it's off to the right over by where the back tees for 17 used to be.
Oh, it's a whole different construction.
And there's water like around 3 sides of this green now. So now you could hit 16th hole, you could hit driver and knock it way down there and hit a wedge like at a 90-degree angle, then turn and go to the green.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could probably hit 5-iron off the tee or a hybrid and walk down there and have almost the same shot
from the different angle.
From a different angle.
Gotcha.
So it's interesting. I like the look of it.
All courses in time require that kind of maintenance, and unfortunately you don't get it unless they're going to replan or resod because of revenue,
Oh yeah.
And
you think about it, you closed for a year, almost a year.
Yeah, somebody took a hit.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, they did. But
figure 100 rounds a day, give or take, and
probably more than that.
Yeah, probably more. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a lot of revenue.
Yeah, somebody had to swallow that for a year. But the good thing is if it comes back good, people will play it. And I actually played golf Friday.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's 8 months since I played on a golf course, which is sad in its own right.
Months.
But I played with my son, my youngest son George, who
I saw some of your videos up on
you
Instagram.
Did say,
yeah.
Oh, we had so much fun. And
where were you guys playing?
We went to Champions.
Okay.
And because I kind of
was trying to figure out where I looked at a couple of shots. I'm going, that looks kind of like St. Lucie West, and then I saw another shot, and I'm like, no, that's not. I just couldn't quite place it.
Well, that course, where you take, depending where you shoot the video from,
Yeah.
like some of them, it's real tucked in trees. You just don't know it's even there because you're not looking down the hole. But the part that was so neat that George has been helping me at my shop, right? So he's been working on his swing, and he's, after all this time growing up, now it's like, oh, golf was really cool. I'm like, geez, Louise, you could have done this your whole life with me. But,
yeah, really. Now
we had
that
a
you're
great
about
time.
ready to go away to college.
But I wanted to say that other than the fact that he actually drove it by me, and I hit a good drive on like 6 or something. I mean, a really good drive. And he hit it like 20 yards by. He caught one, and he's big and strong, and he ran up to it and got in his stance and was like so excited. And that's probably the first time he's like, did you hit that good? I go, I hit that really good. He goes, I blew it by you, Dad. I was like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You're supposed to. That's kind of how it goes. Circle of life here.
Yeah, exactly.
But Dad still made par. He made 6 because, he's still got to learn how to play. But, man, he smoked that thing. But Champions, right, which he was like, I told him, because he's only been to Martin County with me, pretty much.
Okay.
So his reference to what good golf or conditions, he doesn't have any. And we went to Champions, and the conditions weren't bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was dry and hard, and those greens,
Wouldn't hold anything.
no,
They're like the U.S. Open.
Look, I've putted on Masters week greens. I've putted on the replica holes.
Yeah.
They were faster than that.
Oh wow.
And I was like, and he's like, Dad, what's up with the course? I'm like, it's just really dry. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
that
dry.
rain we got last night helped a lot.
It probably did, but it was so dry and so fast. And the greens were nice. I mean, the course was in nice. It wasn't bad shape,
Yeah.
But
it was just hard and
yeah. And I said,
hard
well,
and fast.
And that's how golf courses are this time of year because
Yeah.
you just can't get the grass to grow like it does in the summer. But man, if you want to like putt on greens that feel like Augusta, go to Champions because if you can hold those greens there, and I mean, I'm talking like 5-6 footers that if you don't pay attention, you'll have 10, 15 feet coming back. I mean, it was that fast.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was just me not playing, but I kind of know what really fast greens were, and they were super fast.
Cool.
So if you like that, you go check them out.
Oh yeah. Well, you want to take a break, Frank? We'll call our guest up and get her on the phone and talk a little more golf when we get back.
All right, sounds pretty good.
WST Radio. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Wednesday Night Golf Show, the Hump Day edition.
Hump Day
James
edition.
Stammer and Harlan Bento in the studio. And with us on the phone, we have golf landscape artist Linda Harto. Linda, welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's nice. And where are you calling from?
I live near Hilton Head on Spring Island in South Carolina.
Oh, that's got to be tough. There must not be anything worth painting up there. And I feel so bad for you.
Right. This is a very nice area, I have to say.
Yeah, I get a lot of inspiration up there. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, how did you come to be? How did you come to decide that you were going to paint landscapes and pick golf courses and?
Well, landscape came to me naturally, even as a young child. But golf landscape came to me because Augusta National liked my landscapes and asked me if I could paint a golf course.
Wow.
And I said, sure.
I think so.
That's a great way to jumpstart a landscape artist's career when Augusta says, "Come paint our golf course," right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was in 1984.
Wow.
And I've been painting golf courses ever since.
Wow.
That is so cool. I read something this morning. So you have some, and this is Arlen, by the way. Hello, I'd like to say hi. I noticed. So you have a lot of artwork hanging in Augusta National. Is that correct?
Yeah, quite a few over the years. Yep.
So how did that start? So they called you and said, "Tell us the story about that," because I'm all Masters hyped right now.
Yeah, we're getting real hyped
like
up.
Masters mode.
Well,
so.
I know that it's that time of year.
Yeah.
Too.
So how did that whole tell us? You have some
Well,
stories you could share, like how it started or who called who, or I'm sure you've got some interesting
it was,
things.
Like I say, around 1984, when I was having a show on a Hilton Head Island at the Red Piano Gallery, and some people from Augusta had seen it, and they called me, like Dave Spencer, Bob Kletke, the pros then, and they asked if I could or would paint a golf course, and I said yes. So I went up there, and I painted the 13th hole for the first time. I painted it many times.
Did you have any were you a golfer? Did you know about golf? Did you get?
Well, my father was an avid golfer, so I'd been around it all my life. But no, I did not play.
So the mystique of the Masters did not have you overwhelmed when you first stepped.
Well, yeah, I was overwhelmed because, like I said, I knew about it.
Yeah, sure.
Plus, in retrospect, I would have to say that had it been any other golf course, it probably would have been one and done. But because it was Augusta, it started a whole career of golf.
Very cool.
Which I've enjoyed immensely. It's a wonderful. I've always loved the game. I just don't choose to play it because it's a discipline, and I already have one.
Yes.
There you go.
You're busy painting, not out there.
Well, exactly. I mean,
Now,
when I did play as a young person, it was very frustrating because my visualization of the shot didn't come out.
Right.
And
too busy taking everything else in.
I said, I don't need this in my life.
too much aggravation, right?
Now work.
Now was everything in bloom when you did this, or did you kind of have to use your mind's eye to put all that in?
Well, I have been there at all times a year to do reference work, but generally, even if I'm there at a different time of year, the blooms go in. Yes.
Okay. Because I mean, there's always a lot of talk about how they can make the flowers bloom whenever they want. I was like, all right, now did they?
No.
Did they turn them on for Linda, or did they?
No, you just have to be there at the right time, and since I've photographed it so many times over all those years, different years, the bloom was always different every year.
Well, that's a very interesting comment.
That's
yeah,
cool.
Well, it is. Sometimes one comes, dogwoods come out, and red buds are done, but to have everything at once is pretty near impossible.
I bet.
And you know what? That's a very interesting perspective because as golfers, and people that have followed and fortunately we've been there, so we have a sense of what it feels like to be there. But, as far as me noticing whether, what hole they were blooming or,
Yeah.
I just took it all in like everybody. But your
Well,
perspective.
we only see it in one suit. She gets to see it in all of its apparel. So
That's really cool. I mean,
Yeah, because like in February the Forsythia come out, so
okay.
in March something else comes out. In April everything's almost done by Masters in some years.
Wow, that is
And
so
some
cool.
years it's at a peak, and it's just different every year.
Now, how long does it take you to complete one of your paintings?
They take anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of detail, and most of them are fairly large.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I see that Jack Nicklaus has several of your
Yes.
your works in his house and all. That's pretty neat.
Yes, he has 7 originals. And,
So he's got more of your paintings than he has Green Jackets. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
right.
I wonder if you've ever had any. Have you painted any holes at his private club, like the Bears Club, or any of those places like that?
No. I work pretty much on commission, and for many, many years I was doing only championship courses because that's all I could get done.
Okay.
I did the U.S. Open for 25 consecutive years,
Oh, wow.
and then the British Open Series for 9 years, and various others in between with Augusta. So that filled up my years.
Oh,
I'm gonna say
at 3 to 6 months, of course. Yeah, your dance card is punched.
If I get 3 or 4 done a year, I'm doing good.
there you go.
I bet. Okay, so that's really interesting.
You get to travel a lot too. That's pretty neat.
Well, that's true, and that takes time. All of it takes time. It takes time to get the prints done and have that done, and marketing, and all that business stuff too.
You gotta put food on the table and pay for that flight to go over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
exactly.
Well, everybody out there listening, if you're interested in looking at her website is hartough.com. That's HARTOUGH.com.
Right.
Take a look at it. It's wow. These would be just nice. I would use these for screensavers if I could on my phone. These are pretty nice.
I don't think you're supposed to.
No, you're not. But
Well,
I mean, you zoom in enough, you can kind of look. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm walking down the 13th hole at Pinehurst.
Yeah, there's an interesting feature on there too under the studio tab that you can go to a work in progress or
neat.
what's on the easel, and you can see a painting in progress from
Oh,
start
that's
to
cool.
finish.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that would be very cool to see. So I was just going to ask you, like, I'm sure as an artist you have a way that you approach every project, and so your website actually tries to give people a look at that. I guess that's really neat.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the
The exhibition.
exhibition that's going on in Augusta right now.
Yeah. Well, we have this wonderful organization called the Academy of Golf Art, and we have about 9 members, and currently we're having a show of originals at the Morris Museum of Art in Augusta, Georgia.
Ah.
And it will be hanging, of course, during the Masters Week. So hopefully a few people might tear themselves away from the course to go to this wonderful museum and see our work.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll get some of the because I know I know some people that go for the practice rounds, and they don't even have tickets, but they go because they know that people leaving will sell their they'll leave maybe at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon
Sure.
on Tuesday, and somebody waiting around outside might be able to buy their ticket from them and go in the afternoon. So this might give them something to do while they're waiting, to get in.
Yeah, it's downtown on the riverfront there. It's
Oh, so
really
it's a
a
little-
beautiful museum, and it's well worth your time to go there. I think it's just a
And you're gonna
really
be
nice.
and you're gonna be there next week.
No, probably not.
Okay.
I'm not currently going to be at the Masters, no.
Okay.
But your artwork will.
Yes.
Exactly.
No. like the show that you're doing, so your artwork is available for purchase at things like this, or is it just more for?
The museum is not in the business of selling,
Okay.
but they, obviously I think there's a price list, but it's mainly an exhibition just to show the art.
I see. That's pretty cool.
And you can also go to the Academy of Golf Art website, and you can see the individual artists and their individual websites as well.
Now, is everybody painting landscapes, golf courses? Is it all similar
No,
theme?
some are still lifes, and some
Okay.
are watercolors and sculpture.
Neat.
We have one photographer, Dom Fuhrer, and just a variety of golf art.
I always liked photography. I thought that was kind of cool, but in a way, it's almost cheating versus creating it, as a painting. I mean, that to me
There's a lot of art to
takes
that.
so much more talent
Yeah.
to do.
Ooh, man, I don't know. It might be. I don't know. Some photography stuff takes a lot of It's almost
Yeah,
like
it's-
talent and luck too.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, just to catch.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's hard work too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back in the days before Photoshop, when you could play around with them a little,
Photoshop, yeah.
a little more.
That'd be kinda,
Now it's really like cheating.
yeah, Photoshop is cheating, but that's why
Yeah.
paintings, art like painting art can really capture spirit of things that you can't get,
Right.
from certain.
Well, I think so.
I do too. I think paintings.
Now,
are really cool.
people can buy your work directly through your website, correct?
Right. hmm
Sweet. And what do they start at?
Well, we have some open edition prints, but
Mm-hmm.
most of the limited editions start at $250,
That's not bad.
and we have canvas prints, paper prints. We can do custom sizing, and they can be anywhere up to about 60 inches wide.
Wow. Well, Frank, our engineer here used to have a framing shop, so he's been pretty perky and listening into this, more so than usual.
Well, we do a lot of framed pieces too, and it's very good. The website is interesting, and we have a newsletter and specials on the email, so you sign up.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I've enjoying this. This is very good. So the canvas prints, those are giclées, correct? Yes. Very neat.
Yeah, I
Frank
really
had to
like
throw
the
some
declays. They look so much like the originals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can custom size them. And
Right.
it's
Do you
they're
do you
just great.
embellish the giclées? Do you put like a clear medium on it to make it look like you can replicate the brush strokes? Or I mean, that's a whole nother thing, right?
I don't do it, but we do it.
Okay.
It's available. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
All
Okay,
right.
wait a second. Now that just threw me for a loop here. So basically, what you're talking about is that you can take a print,
Right.
Yeah.
and through like a couple of processes, make it look like it has brush strokes.
Like it has brush strokes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a clear gel medium that goes on top and kind of
It's
mimics
acrylic polymer.
the brush.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
brush
Oh,
stroke.
neat. Now,
And
if someone
that.
wanted to hire you, let's say Michael Jordan's building a golf course in town here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say when he gets done, he could contact you and say, I want to commission you to come in and do some artwork for my new course, and
Grove
Oh,
23.
the Grove, right?
23, yep.
Yeah.
And and I want you to do the fifth hole or something like that. That's something it's something you would do, correct?
Yeah, that's mostly what I do now is commission work. I'm
Okay.
no longer doing the U.S. Open or British Open. I do mostly private commissions now. So.
And how far in advance would they need to get a hold of you to do something like this?
Oh, well, right now I'm busy almost through next year.
Holy moly!
So.
What a nice gig. I like this.
Well, we think Michael Jordan is always listening to our broadcast because
Oh,
we
great.
talked about his golf course with his architect.
Right,
Yeah.
and he just lives down the road a piece.
Yeah, so
too.
just in case
Yeah.
he's listening while he's playing golf,
There you go. There you
there's an
go.
idea for you, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got to be a sponsor on our show.
Yeah, there you go, MJ. Well, what we could do is we could have Linda sit in the studio then and talk about it and bring the one of the partially done pieces.
Sure. She's
and-
going to
and
leave
yeah,
her beautiful, probably lakefront painting studio on Hilton Head to come sit in our studio here in Stewart, Florida.
You never know.
And we'll take her to someplace nice for dinner.
There you
that
go.
would be nice.
There you go. Well, Linda, we need to take a break. Do you want to hang on and talk a little
Sure.
more on the other side? Great.
Absolutely. absolutely.
All right, we're going to pay a couple of bills.
Okay.
Be right
and,
back.
We'll be right back. WSTU Radio. And welcome back to the Wednesday Night Golf Show, as we call it, the Hump Day edition. With us on the phone is Linda Harto. Linda is a golf course artist, painter, landscape artist, and I'm telling you, people, stop by her website, www.hartough.com. Just some absolutely beautiful work. Now, you mentioned earlier that you don't play golf.
No,
You never really got into it.
I'm an avid watcher.
Now, I would like to know, last year you were inducted into the Low Country Golf Hall of Fame.
Yes.
How does someone that doesn't play golf, I mean, you must be one of the very few people that
Very
doesn't
short-
actually play
short
golf.
list.
She is a
that
really
in
good
Hall-
artist.
That is
She's-
in a Golf Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
You're kind of right about that, but
that is cool.
How neat was that?
that was just definitely the highlight of my career.
Wow,
I'm so
that's
honored
cool.
by
Wow, that's very cool.
that. I've been working in the business for 4 years or whatever.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
But you always are sort of on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't, it just doesn't happen that easily. But that's one of the reasons why we formed the Academy of Golf Art.
Mm-hmm.
Was,
Bless
to
you.
draw more attention and awareness to that segment of fine art. And, I think that was sort of our reason for forming, and to be able to connect with collectors and other artists that would like to do golf art, but maybe don't have a place to exhibit or show.
What is
Connect.
Tell us a little more about that academy.
We've been around since 2004.
Okay.
And, we have shows here and there at different art museums, or we're in collections, and we just, are out there for the golf industry.
Very
Basically.
nice.
Yeah.
Now, her being in the Golf Hall, that's kind of like Vin Scully being in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Never played.
He never played.
They called a lot of games though.
Called a lot of games, and she's
Painted a lot of course-
a lot
a
of
lot
golf
of
holes
majors,
and a lot
yeah.
of golf courses. So
No,
hey.
but that's a really good analogy of having
Say,
someone.
I've been to a lot of majors.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and if you think about it, her contribution to the game from our artistic point of view, right?
It's every bit as valuable. Yeah.
Sure, she's capturing. It's creating memories. It's creating historic things that people can look at, and art is looked at over and over
part
and
of
over.
the tradition,
Absolutely.
And I realized, actually, back in 1988, I went to my first PGA show, and I noticed there really wasn't any really good golf art.
No.
And no one was really looking at it as fine art, both in the way it was presented, printed, whatever there was of it. So I decided to take the discipline of fine art to that genre. And
Perfect.
that's what I've been doing ever since.
Sounds like you made a good decision.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't easy, but
Yeah.
Speaking of not easy, what's the hardest thing to paint? When you're doing one
Golf.
of these.
ah,
What's the hardest part? Is it the sky? Is it getting the grass just right? Or
I don't know. I think the hardest paintings I do are of St. Andrews.
because of the colors.
Because
It's just
of the million buildings that are
yeah,
always in
all the different
background.
colors of the buildings that are there. Yeah, really trying to get
It's-
that brick to look just right.
Very tedious, but rewarding when you finally get through the town. But it's very, very tedious work.
because of the detail of the buildings compared to the detail of, say,
Yeah,
flowers in bloom.
Well,
or-
yeah. I mean, I love trees, but you can always a tree isn't,
No one's
You
going
don't
to call
have
you
to
up
be
and say, hey, that
perfect.
branch is a little off.
exactly.
Yeah. Versus that third-story window's not big enough.
But
Yeah,
if
like-
that window is in the wrong place, then you've got a problem.
Right.
You
And so
really-
somebody's, that's my window and it's wrong.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, really?
yeah.
Has anybody ever done that?
The wrong windows?
Or just,
Sure.
or just a complaint about.
called out and said, you know what, that's not quite in the right place, Linda. It's
No,
really over here.
I've edited a lot of things when I paint, and I've never had anybody say, "Hey, where is that? Why is that lamppost not in there, or that power line, or whatever?"
I was in the gallery in that.
Yeah, where's my head-
where's
where's
my
my
face?
face?
I can't find.
I saw you.
I can't
How'd you
find
miss
me.
me?
I don't really put people in my paint.
Good.
So
Yeah, good. That's a good idea.
the first few that I did in the 80s, I did, and then I suddenly realized they were not necessary and not quite what I was trying to get at, which really was kind of the metaphysical side of golf, what you experience when you're out there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I think I really zoned in on that when I went to Scotland.
Ah.
And then I realized when you put people in the painting, it almost becomes like a narrative rather than you being able to place yourself there with those feelings.
Very good.
So they left. All the people left.
Smart move.
Well, Linda, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us tonight.
Well, yeah, I hope some people will go to this exhibition. I'm sure a lot of people are going to go to Augusta.
Yeah, we've got I know there's a lot of people in town that usually head up for that, so yeah.
And I think they would have a very enjoyable time if they went there.
Okay.
There you go.
We'll let
And-
everybody know as much
yeah.
as we can.
Yeah, and make sure you stop by Linda's website, hartough.com,
Yep.
and take a look at tremendous artwork. Linda, thanks again so
Terrific.
much. Enjoy the rest of your week,
Thank you.
and and if you get tired of Hilton Head, we're here.
Come down to Stewart. Nice little town.
Okay.
All right, thanks
Take
again.
care.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
All
I've seen
kinds-
some of her work in person, and it is just
Outstanding.
amazing. And that's it for us.
That is it.
That's it.
Thanks
man.
for tuning
It's
in.
a wrap.
We'll see you guys next week.
Next week we'll be here.
Pre-Masters.
We're in our green and eating pimento cheese sandwiches,
Something like that.
something along that lines, and maybe some mint juleps. Hey, there we go.
Have a great week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.